and people would be protesting, but all of that seems to have fallen on its face, basically. It's been an excellent start to the tournament. A lot of good games, a lot of goals, and of course New Zealand had a 2-2 draw in their first game, which I think we can be really proud of. We played some really good football during that match. And, we had a little bit of a star of our own turn up with Elijah just getting both goals.
I saw that. And also I noticed that there's a story on the news yesterday about the Sikh player, Singh, being the first one. Do you know much about his background and, and what makes him? Is he a defender? Is he a striker?
Sarpreet Singh, he used to play for the Wellington Phoenix. He got a contract to go over to Germany with Bayern Munich, but he never quite cracked the top team over there. He is of Sikh descent, but I believe he grew up in New Zealand, was born here. But I think it's a big deal for them. I saw one of the other teams also had their the first player of Pakistani descent ever at a World Cup too. So, when you expand the number of teams, so there's now 48 teams at the World Cup. I think you're going to be catching a lot of guys with different backgrounds. You can definitely see the remnants of colonialism in a lot of these teams. You look at France, look at England, look at a lot of them. There's a lot of mixed groups. I think only really you look at Argentina, they're probably the only team that doesn't have any immigrants in the team.
Sam, I was actually, I'm the useless guy that doesn't play sport. But, if you're watching soccer, who are the most famous soccer players that are here for the World Cup?
Well, I think obviously the top one is Lionel Messi from Argentina.
I was this close to meeting him. I mean, one of my mentors, JT Fox, actually, that's one of his mates that he actually catches us with, and I nearly got an opportunity to meet him. Nearly. So he's here in town.
He seems to be quite an understated guy, despite his incredible talent that he has. He was picked out as an amazing player as a child, basically. And they called him the kind of the second Maradona.
Wow.
Which you can imagine the kind of pressure that has on you in Argentina growing up. And then he got signed by Barcelona, and they even paid for some medical support for him because his growth had stunted. So they put a lot of money into him, and then it's obviously paid off. I think he's overwhelmingly the best player of the generation now. I think that's almost not debatable. But along with Messi, of course, there's Kylian Mbappe from France, Cristiano Ronaldo from Portugal, although he's getting a bit on now. And most of the stars have stepped up. Of course, Messi scored a hat-trick in the first game for Argentina.
Hey, England, what do you think? They've had one game so far, and I think a lot of their fans are excited. But mind you, they always get excited, eh?
Yeah, they do. England do get ahead of themselves, but they did play very well against Croatia, who isn't the same Croatia from maybe 4 or 8 years ago, but they've got an athletic team, England. They've got some very informed players with Harry Kane, their striker, who's the striker for Bayern Munich. Jude Bellingham, who plays for Real Madrid. So it's a different looking England team. They've got a German coach as well, which is very interesting. And he seems quite keen to play a aggressive style of football, which is very good to watch. But again, a lot of these teams will shine in the early stages and score lots of goals. But we know that defence is what can win you tournaments, and there were a few fragilities in the English defence, so they'll need to fix those if they want to win the tournament.
I just wanted to talk about fans. So there was a story about in Boston, and the Scottish guys, they drank all the beer in all the bars. That was a hard case.
Yeah, I guess it's a Celtic town.
Yeah.
So they're getting in touch with their roots. I saw a video yesterday of the Bosnian supporters just rolling through the middle of Los Angeles to get to the stadium, and people were saying, that's the hood. It's like, I don't think those Bosnian guys are too worried about the hood. Most of them grew up during the war, so it was quite a hard case. They were singing their songs and marching through the hood.
There's one thing. They interviewed a guy that cleans the parks, and he said that the Scottish fan, even though they partied in the park, they they all put their rubbish.
Oh, they were tidy Kiwis.
They were tidy Kiwis. So obviously there were some Kiwis in their Scottish crowd that got it, So I thought that was... But
it's interesting. They mentioned that the Japanese fans always do that too. They always clean up after themselves at the stadium. And then we actually got a mention in New Zealand, and they said, that kind of reminded the commentator of the All Blacks how that was what they always did. They always swept up the room after themselves. So it's interesting. Maybe we're the trendsetters.
Yeah, absolutely. Who do you think is going to win? When it gets down to the business, who do you think Argentina can do it back to back?
Oh, it's tough. It's always tough to pick, but I think you can't really go past France at the moment. They've probably got two teams that could compete for the World Cup. If you look at their players, they've got just the speed that they play with. They're a very exciting team. They usually take their time getting into a tournament, but they must have decided at half time in the last game to go for it, and they really showed what they can do. Argentina, they're a little bit older. If anyone can close down Messi, then they're probably in a bit of trouble, but everyone's been saying that about Messi for 20 years. So I would say probably France. England do look quite good, but it's tough, because there's an extra round in the knockout this time. Usually they start with 16 for the knockout games, but this time it's 32. So these home teams are playing well. USA, Mexico, Canada probably not as good, but anything can happen. And that's the beauty of the World Cup. I mean, we saw Morocco make it to the semis last time. We've seen a team like Turkey or Korea make the semis in the past. So there's always hope, even for little old New Zealand. If we can sneak a win on Monday against Egypt, then anything is possible, I guess.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Sam, for the contribution this morning. We just about go to Ed.
Sweet as.
We'll be right
Want
back.
to talk sport? Call now. Saturday morning sport with WesSA on 0508 Aotearoa. That's 0508 268 32762.